Okay, if I don't have boundaries, I might look like this. No boundaries. I might look like this. Walls. What kind of walls do you think I would use if I didn't know how to have healthy boundaries? What kind? Picket fence. Right on.
Fear, anger.
Okay. Fear. A wall of fear to distance myself from you. Anger. Anything else?
BWA.
Back walking away. Got a black belt in my boundaries class, Cindy. Okay. Anybody else? What
Silence.
Anybody else? What kind of walls might I use?
Niceness.
Right. Pleasant. Pia calls this a wall of pleasant.
Could drugs and alcohol be a wall?
Right. God bless you. God bless you.
Excuse me.
So let's put in here addiction for a wall.
Avoidance.
Right. Okay, and the last type is sometimes I have boundaries, like in work. When I worked with the post office, I was really good in the work that I did. God bless you. I did front lobby, post offices, the design work to make them more beautiful for people to come in who had to wait in line at the post office. I loved what I did. Okay, so I had pretty good boundaries there, except when it came to station managers and men who would be really pissed at me, and they'd say things like, "How come you got this job and my brother-in-law didn't? He does signs great. He does lobby directory systems wonderful. How come a woman has this?" Sometimes my boundaries would work really good with my children, sometimes they wouldn't. Sometimes my boundaries wouldn't work good with my parents. There was a time when I would go home and I would feel like I was 4 years old the minute I walked through the door. Anybody have that feeling? Boy, that's a trip, I'll tell you, you know. Here you are, 40, 50 years old, and you have that deja vu about being real tiny again. Okay.
Excuse me.
You're excused. Okay, any questions on 3 states if I don't have healthy boundaries? Or any comments? Dawn, how are you feeling right now?
Confused.
Okay. What is a higher feeling under the confusion?
I'm mostly just confused. I'm
If you
scared.
could put your hand over your heart. Just put your,
I'm scared.
so I'm hearing that you're really scared. Okay, anybody else? Any questions on this?
Just thought another good wall is confusion.
Yeah, but it's
Chaos.
secondary. Confusion is like anger. It's a secondary feeling. It has really nothing to do with who I am. Once I have the idea of boundaries. If you didn't have boundaries, Dawn, through your life, what boundaries did you use? What did your boundaries look like or feel like?
I was nice. I covered it up to a lot. Nobody ever thought they could bother me. You know, everybody thought I was real mellow. I dealt with things real well. I didn't.
I was voted takes life most easily in the 9th grade at Sedgwick Junior High School in West Hartford, Connecticut. And I had been sexually molested between the ages of 7 and 11 years old. And I really knew how to hide. Can relate to what you're saying. Okay.
Is panic a wall?
Could be, huh? Okay, where'd the other board go to? Oh, it's right behind here. Okay. Why are boundaries important? Why am I telling you all this? Why, Lauren?
To protect ourselves.
Yeah. Well, why is that so important?
If you don't protect me, who will?
So, I hear Sandy saying, if you don't protect you, who will? What else?
So we can live life and not have to use drugs or alcohol.
So you can be comfortable within your own skin. This girl
Sometimes the, what'd you say?
This girl should eat.
My stomach was growling.
Lovely.
Do you want to go to the kitchen and get
Oh,
some?
no, I'm fine. I'm okay.
Are you new?
Am I new? What's new? I've been here for about 3 weeks.
That's good. What's your name?
Bridget?
Bridget. Glad you're here. I'm Dawn, and I'll be here all the month of July, so I'll be seeing you again. Boundaries are important for a couple of reasons. And all the reasons that you said. The pain of codependency, for me anyway, got so intense 8 years ago that I was very suicidal. And when I started to get well, I started to have homicidal feelings. Recently, there was a good example of sex and love addiction and alcohol, drug addiction. Gambling is an ex-girlfriend of a man who shot a woman to death about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. And he shot her to death in every hole of her body, sometimes several times. So I really don't take boundaries lightly. And when I think about Nazi Germany and 7 or 8 million people, Jews, lesbians and gays, Czechoslovakians, Polacks, Protestants, Catholics being eliminated in Nazi Germany during the Second World War, I don't take boundaries lightly. I'm very, I might sound like I have a smooth presentation, but in my heart I am real clear on what can happen if we don't have healthy boundaries. Last week, or a week and a half ago, a woman who had been in my ACA 12-step group for 3 years was bludgeoned to death in Ramona, beaten to death in Ramona. Actually, Dorothea never came to one of my boundaries groups, but we spent quite a bit of time together. And she could have been any of us. In my thinking, we're all really lucky. I'm lucky to be alive. And I find that you all are very courageous because you're taking a step, God bless you, from what you know, where you've been living most of your life, using alcohol and drugs to self-medicate, or eating disorders, or gambling, or sex and love addiction, whatever you've been using to medicate so that you don't feel the pain of all of this shame. You've decided for whatever reason to come into recovery. So that's thrilling to me, because that means to me that I'm not alone with my boundaries. There may be other people who really want to honor their own boundaries and want to honor my boundaries. And that to me is like we could actually create a peaceful world. We really could create a world that was filled with nonviolence, one by one. It all happens, this would happen one by one.